Something is happening in Salt Lake City. Something bigger, darker, and far more explosive than anything Bravo cameras have ever caught. For years, Mary Cosby has been a mystery, an enigma wrapped in rumors, headlines, whispers, and denial. But when TLC suddenly announced a 3-part docuseries digging into the Faith Temple Pentecostal Church, the internet erupted. Fans, critics, bloggers, and even former members all started asking the same question. Is this finally the moment the truth comes out? And even more chilling, why did it take this long for someone to investigate what so many people have been talking about for decades? Before we dive deeper, impress that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what you think about the Mary Cosby situation. Your thoughts help push the conversation forward. Now, let's step inside a story that stretches far beyond reality TV. This isn't just about drama on Bravo. This is about a church founded in 1968, a legacy of spiritual authority, a family torn apart, and a reality star who insists the world has it wrong. And maybe it does. Or maybe the story is far more complicated than anyone ever imagined. It all begins with Dr. Rosemary Redmond Cosby, Mary's grandmother, a woman who, in the late 60s, built Faith Temple Pentecostal Church from the ground up. To her followers, she was a prophet, a visionary, a spiritual mother whose voice carried divine authority. But when she passed away, everything shifted. The church wasn't just a church anymore. It became the center of a power struggle, a financial mystery, and eventually, when Mary stepped into the role of First Lady, alongside her step-grandfather-turned-husband, Bishop Robert Cosby Sr., people didn't whisper. They shouted. They questioned. They speculated. But Mary insisted again and again, it is not what you think. She defended her marriage, her church, her members, and her grandmother's legacy. She told the world she was guided by love, not control. Devotion, not manipulation. But then came the producers. The journalists. The investigators who had been tracking allegations since the early 2000s. And that's when TLC stepped in. Their upcoming docuseries, The Cult of the Real Housewife, doesn't hold back. According to TLC, the event will pull back the curtain through family members. Mary's own sister, her cousin Dan, Dan's wife Kim, people who claim they've seen the truth behind closed doors. Add to that the controversial sermon recordings, the decades of archival footage, and a network promising to unpack one of the most enduring mysteries surrounding the church. And suddenly, everything Mary has denied for years is being dragged under a floodlight. Yet Mary isn't backing down. During BravoCon 2025, when a fan asked her reaction to the trailer, she didn't hesitate. It's horrible. It's not true. She didn't stumble. She didn't soften her words. She dismissed the docuseries as a shameful attack, insisting the accusations have been following her family since the beginning. But here's where things get complicated, because the allegations didn't just come from outsiders. They didn't come from bloggers looking for drama. They started from voices inside her own world. Voices who claim they saw the church shift into something unrecognizable after Rosemary passed. And that's why the timing of this docuseries is so explosive. Mary has returned to RHLC full-time. She's back in the spotlight. She's back speaking openly about her faith, her church, her reputation. She insists she isn't in it for the money, that accusations of financial misconduct are nothing more than attacks rooted in jealousy, misunderstanding, or fabrication. But viewers aren't so sure. Some believe Mary wholeheartedly. Others believe the relatives featured in the doc. And many believe the truth is somewhere in the middle. Complicated, layered, tangled in decades of family history. The Real Housewives cameras capture Mary laughing, arguing, praying, defending herself. But they don't capture what the docuseries claims to reveal. The private world, the sermons behind the scenes, the testimonies of former members. For the first time, a network other than Bravo is stepping into the narrative, and they're promising answers. The question is, will those answers finally shut down the rumors? Or will they ignite an even bigger firestorm? Because when Bravo dropped the midseason RHOSLC trailer, fans paused at one specific moment, Mary inviting the cast to her church, a moment that instantly became symbolic. Was she proving the church is legitimate? Was she opening the doors to silence critics? Or was she unknowingly walking straight into the storm, ballad, giving viewers a first-hand look at the very place TLC is investigating? Mary insists the cult accusations are absurd. She once said, "Clearly, I'm not going to get on national television, be a housewife, and be in a cult. Come on, no." Her confidence never wavers. But confidence doesn't erase questions. Confidence doesn't silence controversy. Confidence doesn't erase the decades of recordings, the blogs, the lawsuits, the family interviews that the doc promises to showcase. And that's where this story becomes larger than Mary, larger than RSLC, larger than Bravo. It becomes a clash between two narratives: the woman defending her legacy and the world demanding answers to allegations that refuse to disappear. This isn't the usual Housewives storyline. This isn't feuding friendships or messy dinners. This is something heavier: legacy, faith, power, and accountability colliding in the public eye. As the premiere date of the docuseries creeps closer, the tension surrounding Mary Cosby's world grows thicker. Every teaser, every leaked quote, every subtle hint from TLC seems to amplify one thing: this investigation isn't surface level. It digs deep into the personal, the private, the undisclosed. And viewers can feel it. Whether they support Mary or question her, everyone understands that something significant is about to unfold. And yet, Mary herself remains steadfast. When she calls the situation sad and a shame, it's not just a reaction, it's a line in the sand. She's fighting back with words that sound firm, frustrated, and deeply wounded. When she says, "It's not true," she isn't hesitating. She's speaking from a place she believes is her truth. In her eyes, these allegations have followed her family legacy for decades, whispering behind every accomplishment, every sermon, every step into the public spotlight. But the docuseries promises something viewers have never seen before: family members stepping forward with deeply personal and disturbing accounts. Journalists who have followed this story for years. Archival footage from the early days of the Faith Temple Church. Footage that predates Bravo, predates the accusations, predates the modern era of public scrutiny. This isn't a story built on Twitter threads or reality TV confessionals. It's a timeline that stretches more than 50 years, now intersecting with modern pop culture and reality TV celebrity. Mary's return to RHOSLC adds another layer of complexity. She's back in the main cast, back under the magnifying lens, back defending herself against the same accusations she says have been used against her since childhood. Viewers are now watching two narratives unfold side by side. On Bravo, Mary opening the doors to her life again. And on TLC, a network prepared to open the doors to something she says has been misunderstood entirely. The moment Mary invites the RHLC cast to her church in the midseason trailer becomes symbolic in hindsight. It's a contrast. On one side, you have the docuseries, dramatic, investigative, ominous. On the other, Mary presenting her church as a place of worship, a community built on love, tradition, and devotion. She insists people accuse every church of something. She insists nothing sinister is happening behind the scenes. She insists that the members who know her best know the truth. But the world isn't interested in simple explanations anymore. The internet thrives on contradictions, mysteries, inconsistencies. With every clip Mary shares, another clip from the docuseries promises something different. With every denial, another witness steps forward. The narrative becomes a tug-of-war between faith and accusation, legacy and investigation, image and truth, whatever that truth may be. TLC's final question in the press release echoes in the background. How have Mary and Robert Cosby Sr. managed to avoid accountability for so long? Whether that question is justified or exaggerated, it's now out in the world, attached to Mary's name forever. And once a question like that is asked publicly, it never fully disappears. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City has always thrived on drama, confrontation, and spectacle. But Mary Cosby's story goes beyond that. It's generational, it's cultural, it's spiritual, it's emotional, and now it's investigative. Viewers aren't just watching for entertainment anymore, they're watching for answers. In the end, only two things are certain. First, the docuseries will not be the final chapter of this story. It will spark conversations, debates, reactions, and backlash that may continue for years. It may even reshape how viewers see Mary. Whether that's in a positive or negative light will depend on what they choose to believe. Second, Mary Cosby is not going anywhere. She continues to stand firm, insisting every allegation is fabricated, exaggerated, or rooted in jealousy and misinterpretation. She says she will continue to love her church. She will continue to stand by her family legacy. She will continue to deny every accusation against her. And she will continue to let cameras follow her life, because in her eyes, transparency isn't something she fears. But for the first time, the world is getting two versions of her story at the same time. One crafted by Bravo, one investigated by TLC, and viewers are caught in the middle, watching a clash of narratives unfold in real time. So as the release of the docuseries approaches, the real question is no longer whether Mary Cosby is guilty or innocent. The question is how far both networks are willing to go, and how much the world is prepared to learn when decades of rumors finally collide with the spotlight.